business trip.
Did the people move around?
It does tingle a little bit. All right, so I have this right here. It's going to be random. I'm shaking them up. I don't have anything in my hands, nothing like that.
Let's talk about the top 3 things that you wish would have stayed from the pandemic.
If it is completely random. This is number 14. And let's go over. Let's hide Mr. Salvadori here for a second. You guys don't need to see that. If you did see it, you can jump on and, I guess, stream to my thing. Number 14 is, okay, this is an interesting one. A good one. The top 3 ticketed events at Walt Disney World. So by ticketed, we'll go with dessert parties, after parties, tours, anything that you would pay extra for at Walt Disney World. So you have 30 seconds from now.
Planning your first trip and getting overwhelmed by all the details? Planning your next trip and just want some new suggestions on things you haven't tried? Contact me at Princess and the Mouse Travel, and I'd love to work with you planning your next trip to the most magical place on earth.
You can contact Princesses and the Mouse Disney Travel on Facebook at PATM Disney Travel. All right. You want to go first or you want me to go first?
Go ahead.
All right. So my number 3 is going to be Adventures by Disney Tours. And I'm going to really knock it down to the Yuletide Fantasy Tour that is during the holiday season. So Yuletide Magic or Yuletide Fantasy is basically a tour of Disney's events team on how they decorate the parks for Christmas. So this tour started in Epcot, and we went over to the Disney, I don't even remember what they called it. Their big warehouse where they do all the Christmas supply. So this would have been the first week of the Christmas holiday there. So like that first week in November. And it was cool because you go in there and it's just this huge warehouse of bulbs and wreaths and all that kind of stuff. And they tell you kind of how they figure out what they're going to do and how far out they plan and how long it takes to get everything ready and how they put everything together. You're doing the same thing I am, is pulling down some of your stuff. Let's not crash through the the microphone this week. But yeah, we got to do that. We got to go over to Emirates Patisserie to do Christmas cookie decorating. It was a really cool tour, and it took half the day. Got to see some really cool things. Disney. Oh, we went over to the show building as well, where they do all the costuming and where they do all the rehearsing for parades and their Christmas time shows and all that kind of stuff. So yeah, it was a really neat tour. So they do a lot of different ones, everything from like the behind the scenes tour and that kind of stuff.
Man, you can't just throw out like 30 tour. One tour. The How We Get the Holidays Ready tour. Thank you.
Yeah. All right, Peter, what's your number 3?
My goodness, he does that all the time. All right, so I'm going to go with one that it's not currently being offered, but I truly hope that it comes back. The Frozen Dessert Party. We have done several dessert parties, and the Frozen Dessert Party over at Epcot is the best, hands down. So there's a wristband from the Frozen Dessert Party. I have a really nice one back here, and I didn't see it really quickly, so I just gave up on it real quick.
Yeah, we've got one in our Disney Memories box too.
So right there on the entrance to World Showcase, over to the left, back behind that building, they use that entire area. It's food. there's like desserts, there's a little bit of charcuterie, little cheese fondue, open bar, fantastic time. Um, Really great. You get to sit down about 45 minutes before the show starts and go all the way through the end of the show. And the best, honestly, after it gets done, then they escort you over to Frozen Ever After, and you get to close out your night after the fireworks, riding Frozen Ever after the ride's done and everybody's kind of exiting the park. And the unsung hero of this dessert party is actually these things right here. That I loved this when I put them on. So you put these on, and what it does is it snowflakes light sources. So the firework goes up and it launches, but then it snowflakes the trickle down of the firework, and it's so amazing. I remember putting these on and watching that fireworks and going, that's just fantastic. Right there. Yep. And you can see there's Anna and Elsa. Yep.
Yep.
So Frozen dessert party, not back yet, but I imagine that's going to be one of the things that do come back to Epcot, as they get it back to, we'll say, normal. So, Matt, what's your number 2?
My number 2. Let's go over to the number 2s here. So, I kind of went back and forth with my number 2. My number 2 is actually going to be the dessert party for the Magic Kingdom fireworks. So, we haven't done the enchantment one yet, but we did do it with Happily Ever After. So, how the dessert party works is actually, it is in 3 different stages. So, you either have a pre-dessert party, a during dessert party, or a post-dessert party. All 3 dessert parties will have dedicated viewing areas for the show, but depending on which party you do, you're either going to have your treats and drinks before, during, or after the fireworks show. So we did it during the show. You sit in Tomorrowland Terrace. They have a little dessert buffet set out for you. The adults get a glass of champagne. The kids got a glass of sparkling apple juice, and you could go back and or sparkling grape juice, and you could keep going back and getting sparkling grape juice as much as you wanted. But yeah, it's kind of the same thing. The thing that I liked better about the Frozen dessert party than the Tomorrowland one was the view from Tomorrowland isn't the greatest of views. In the Frozen dessert party, they actually take you over to that port of entry area where you get one of the best views of those shows in that area. So that was the one thing that I was like, yeah. Now the new party with Enchantment, they have some of the hub seating, but it's still kind of off center, and it's not the premium seating, but it's still a good place to watch the fireworks from. There aren't many bad places to watch the fireworks from. But as far as Disney desserts, all little finger food desserts, awesome across the board. And these dessert parties will run anywhere from, about $69 to about $109, depending on when you're going and doing them and which one you're doing. So definitely check the prices out, or get with one of us and we can help you book it on your next trip. Peter, what's your number 2?
I was torn between 2, but I'm ultimately going to go with one that's a little bit more accessible for all. Again, one that not currently being offered because there's a lot of tours that are still working on getting the people back in place and get them going. But when it comes back, the Taste of the Magic Kingdom tour. The Taste of the Magic Kingdom tour was fantastic. You start up there by Tony's with a little appetizer, and then you walk to a few different kitchens, and they explain, like, for example, the Skipper Canteen kitchen is connected to the Liberty Tree Tavern and the Diamond Horseshoe kitchen. And so all of the food, and if you think about now, if you look at a park map, yes, they're exactly on the opposite side of that center building. So they just kind of tell you how the restaurant in Tomorrowland Terrace actually supplies the food for everything all the way over to Casey's Hot Dogs. It's really cool if you're a foodie to hear how all of that food gets made and prepared every day, and how it's very interesting because in Magic Kingdom, you would think, oh, there's so many restaurants. Yeah, there's actually only like 4 kitchens currently running um, throughout the day, and everything's kind of being utilidored up secret entrances to the various places. The only thing that gets made in Casey's is the fries. Everything else gets utilidored up, and they have a dumbwaiter that comes up into the back with the stuff that goes down to the utilidor. So just really, really cool information to find out, full of different little food samplings and other stuff. My favorite thing was they ended it at Tomorrowland Terrace, and they sat us down and they brought us egg rolls and said, these are just a couple of different offerings. Tell us what you think. Give us some feedback. The chefs want to know. And now the egg rolls that I tasted are now in that little egg roll stand just off to the right before you go into Adventureland. So it's kind of cool because I remember having those egg rolls on that VIP food tour.
There you
Matt,
go.
what is your number one? And you better not say mine.
I know I'm not going to say yours because I'm going completely out of reach for a lot of people, and I'm going with the Magic Kingdom photo session. So Disney offered and will offer again a lot of different family photo sessions. They have the something your moment right now. Capture your moment.
Something you're right.
The capture your moment. Little 15-minute photo sessions right now. But when they come back in their full-fledged glory, you can do family photo sessions at any of the parks, any of the hotels, anywhere you want with Disney photographers. And it is unbelievable. We have done it 3 times now. We did the Magic Kingdom one. We did one at the Polynesian. And then we did one at the Grand Floridian with the in-laws. And it's fantastic. You can go in with your own plan, or you can let the Disney photographer take you around to different places to get photos. When we did the Magic Kingdom one is definitely an upcharge. So, especially if you're going to do the longer one, we did the hour one. You get into the park before the park opens. That way you don't get anybody in your shots. They take you around. You get your classic castle shots. We did a lot over in that right as you were going into Adventureland area. And then we did some in the little offshoot in the shopping area across from the Emporium. And just fantastic photos with the Magic Kingdom one. We also got a 16 by 21 canvas photo, and we got a upside down Disney Fine Art USB that they put all of our photos on in this cool little case that we got to keep all of the studio images as well.
There are Christmas carolers at my house. That's Jingle Bell Rock is currently happening over here.
There you go. So so that is my number one. And again, that'll be something, once it comes back in its full glory, you can definitely reach out to us if you have any questions. I am very knowledgeable on those photo sessions and would love to help you get one for your family. Peter, what is your number one?
Is my mic picking up Jingle Bell Rock?
A little bit.
Okay, so I'll just try to talk through it a little bit. My number one is the Wild Africa Trek over at Animal Kingdom. It is an amazing experience. You start just kind of to the side of Kilimanjaro Safaris. They put a vest that kind of cinches in. If you've ever been, rock climbing or things like that, it's got that whole thing, the whole little harness and everything. But then they take you back through a little nature trail, and they start you onto this Wild Africa Trek. And so you walk along and you see the hippopotami. They tell you all about them. They do like a feeding to make them come over so that they'll eat. Walk through a little bit more. They take you get to go over the bridges, over the crocodile area. You just get these really unique immersive experiences. And then you climb aboard a private vehicle, take sort of a different route through the safari area, And if you've ever been on the safari, when you're out in that big grassland area, there's the hut up to the upper right that you
Yes.
go, oh, maybe that's like part of Animal Kingdom Lodge or something. And it's not, it's actually this trek. They bring you up there and they park in there, and you get out and you come to this little private dining area where they've got that pog juice along with a little canteen of all of these different unique foods that are just so good. And then you sit around, you got about 30-40 minutes to sit around there before they load you back up and kind of finish your safari back on that private vehicle. And so you just get a very, very intimate safari experience in addition to some really kind of fun excursion, like trek things. You get to like hook into these things and like lean out over the different animal enclosures. It's just a really, really amazing thing. It is by far worth the money. It is a little bit pricey, gets you up towards $200 a person, but worth it, 100% worth it. I had some clients do it. I've done it, and then my clients who did it, I booked a trip for them, and they were like, "Hey, book us that Wild Africa trek again." So like, even though they've been on it, it's so amazing of an experience. So
And
that
I think
is the end. And then you want me to end this and come back?
Yeah, but I wanted to say one thing before we go. I think when we talk about, tours and that kind of stuff, the tours pricing really varies from tour to tour, because you can get prices for as low as 19, to $30 a person.
Yeah.
And then you can do
Behind
other
the
tours.
scenes is super cheap.
Yeah, and then you can do other tours that are $400 an hour.
Yeah.
So, it's very much what you're wanting to do, what you're wanting to see. How in depth do you want to get? Do you want to see behind the curtain on some of these things? Because there's some stuff that, just not knowing is magical enough. So, but yeah, so Peter, where can people find you?
Facebook at Princess and the Mouse Travel. Click on there, send me a message, and
And we'll get him back here in a second. So what he was saying, Princesses and the Mouse, Disney Travel. Go over to Facebook at PATM Disney Travel. You can find him over there. Or Salva Disney, SALVADISNEY, salvadisney@gmail.com is his direct email address. Or you can just go over to the website and check us out. But thanks. This is another great top 3. We will see you guys next year with the top 3 segment. Hey, thanks for checking us out today. Don't forget to hit those like and subscribe buttons to help out the channel. Also, if you're looking for some more Disney content, check this out. I think you're going to like it.